Hey everyone, happy Monday. Today I'm live with Angela Harar of UCX USA. Angela, how are you?
I'm great today. How are you?
I'm doing well for a Monday. Really excited to have this conversation because I'm so excited about your event, which is, I guess, seemingly just around the corner. I can't believe I'm saying that,
I
but
know.
September is not far away. And it's going to be one of the most intriguing events that I'm going to attend this year. But before we jump into that, maybe introduce yourself briefly and your background. Is it right that you're one of the top 100 most influential people in the event industry? That's pretty impressive.
According to Eventex, I am. Yes.
Okay.
So I'm Angela Harar. I am the managing director of UCX USA. I'm actually a portfolio director at Clarion Events, which is a global trade show and event company that stages B2B and B2C events across a variety of industries. And my background is I spent quite some time on some really top 100 trade shows in the country, uh, which kind of overlapped some medical technology and retail environments. But I am here for UCX USA, all things UCX.
That's awesome. I'm so excited about the event. Let's provide a little snippet for the viewers to check out what's to come.
Great.
Wow, I'm excited already. And this is not your typical trade show. I go to a lot of trade shows,
Right.
big, small, mostly vendor backed, whether it's Microsoft or Cisco, et cetera. But you've taken a different approach here. Tell us more.
Yeah, I think that the when we were looking into doing this event, it was really important to be able to interview attendees, prospective attendees, and figure out what it is that they are seeking right now and what it is they're missing. And so we backed into this event design based on all of that feedback. And so what we are focused on is truly having a peer exchange format. And that's in everything from the content as it's created, how people are going to interact with each other, and the learning environment that we're setting up. So we want people to be able to walk away and say, I'm building my community. I have my fellow professionals. We're all in this together. I just want to hear from them, learn from them, and walk away with a few aha moments that I can take back to my business and make an actual progressive change.
I love that. So, for those who aren't familiar, give us some background on the UCX brand organization, if you will.
Sure. So UCX is kind of a mashup of unified communications and collaboration and customer experience. So we're talking to professionals that represent future of work, IT, audiovisual, customer experience, and contact center, and how those worlds come together. And so for the UCX brand itself, it is an existing brand that comes to us from Europe. So it is Europe's leading UC&C event. So that event takes place every year in October at London Excel. And they have a couple of events within the UCX brand. But what happened maybe 2 years ago now is some of the vendors raised their hand and said, we'd really like to see something stateside with this brand, with the way that you organize and with the way that we're treated, quite frankly. So the way that we work with vendors is very much about creating inclusive packages, making it very easy to participate, and ensuring that they get the guaranteed meetings that they're looking for, but all at the same time with a focus on making sure that the attendees are really walking away with valuable insights. I think for us, and the way that I've backed into the design of this is if you get it right for the professionals, you'll get it right for the vendors. Everybody wins.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, sometimes I think shows typically are kind of like junk food. It feels good during it, but then you wonder what you got from the experience. And so I'm excited about this. So you're inviting who's who to sponsor and attend and speak. Who should attend? What's the average or typical profile of an attendee?
So we're really looking at directors and vice president as far as level of who we plan to have at the event. I think going by title, there are about 8 million titles that apply. I feel like in some organizations, the world really changed during the pandemic. Some companies have created positions solely to look at unified communication and collaboration. So if you're looking at the UC&C side of it, in other corporations, it can be your IT director. We've even found that there are some people that are IT managers that have these massive budgets that are, responsible for implementing and integrating these UC&C solutions. And then we also have AV professionals because they're responsible for making you, as I've heard, look good and sound good. And these teams work together about, everybody's talking still about how to maximize what a remote workspace looks like, but also this return to office and making it a cultural change. How are you going to design the office spaces? How are you going to equip them? I even just had a conversation about implementing broadcast rooms and I'll use this as a perfect example, right? The number of people that need to broadcast and do remote meetings, and they need to look their best and really make people feel that they are in a quality environment. Then if you move and pivot to the customer experience and contact center side of the equation, again, we're talking about directors and VPs that are making these decisions about how to maximize the contact center and all the changes that have occurred, again, the pandemic affecting them. So and the new technology coming to market that is constantly evolving the way that companies interact with their customers. So sometimes I get the question, especially if I'm at an event that's specific to one or specific to the other, how do these worlds collide? And there's two things that I've seen. On the first hand, a lot of the vendors in the space have UCaaS and CCaaS solutions. So sometimes it's driven by the vendors themselves. But the other thing that has been occurring, especially in contact centers, is the future of work is remote for the agents that we're all interacting with. So the topics that we cover in the conference, actually, there is a healthy overlap between how corporations are looking at return to work and then how contact centers are actually operating right now.
Oh, I love that. I mean, our industry has been, even on the marketing front, so siloed through today. I mean, we have our collaboration event, the big, event in Orlando, Enterprise Connect. We have contact center events that are very specific kind of niche. There's stuff on AI and the future of work. But, this looks rather different in bringing those threads together. So when and where is UCX USA exactly? Remind us. And why did you choose Austin as home to the event?
So it's September 13th and 14th at the Fairmont Hotel in Austin. And I think that was another big part of the validation research that we went through. And we were very intentional, and we weren't just looking to get the answers that we wanted when we were asking people about what this event would look like. And all we heard was, if you're going to be different, go somewhere different. Let's have fun. Let's change things up. I think Austin is one of those cities that everybody knows is an emerging tech hub. Not that only tech companies are going to be attending and participating, but it just has that energy. And, we want to be serious, but we also want to be able to have fun in the midst of all those serious conversations, because in my opinion, the best way for this event to evolve is that we're actually just building community. And I want people to feel like by attending, you're starting to just expand your community of professionals. And we want to expand it in a city where we're seeing expansion take place. It's a fun town.
It is a fun town, and quite frankly, Las Vegas and Orlando are fun, but I've had enough. You can
I
have too
was,
much fun.
I don't want to say it. I've been
No
in both of those
disrespect.
cities in the past month, and they have their pros, but sometimes
It's
um,
overload. It's
it
overload.
can be
So a new
overloaded.
venue, a new event, it's quite refreshing. So tell us about launching an event. Sounds like a combination of exciting and terrifying and exhilarating all at the same time.
So launching an event it's a sophisticated, complex system. But what I have found is the people specific to this industry have made it a lot easier than I could have imagined. And so when you start, and remember, we're starting with this is brand new in the US. To the vendors, a lot of vendors are familiar with the brand because of the UK, but maybe not so many of the American professionals. So I have been able to, it started with collaboration. And I look at this, I don't really even like to call people partners. This is a collaborative, like this entire space is about collaboration. And so I was able to work with the IMCCA. I now consider the people in that organization dear, dear friends. And we're working together to look at, what the content for the community looks like to get the message out. I have been able to develop relationships with AV User Group. UC Today is our lead media partner. And at the SCTC, the Society for Technology Consultants. And that's just the beginning. We keep on finding new partners. And I think that's because people just like the idea of this event. And so even in the contact center side, we ended up becoming members of the contact center networking group. And through that, we're developing these relationships, and their leadership is helping us connect us with all the right people. So if I can say anything about what has been the best about working on this launch, it has been able to get out there in the community with the associations, with the analysts, with leaders like yourself. And everybody has just been a joy in saying, this is the next person you need to talk to, or these are the people that need to be there, and use my name. I love this concept. So go ahead and let's get everybody there and have a different type of event.
I love it. And you have a website that's super informative. And you got everything out there. There's AI match making, networking and connections. Very, intimate roundtable discussions. The topics seem really so timely. Is this the main destination at ucxusa.com folks can go to?
Absolutely. So ucxusa.com, and what we have on there, and I want to take a moment now that you're scrolling past this, you'll see a lot of roundtables. And then I'm also going to explain a little bit about Knowledge Bridge. But the roundtable concept, that we have so many because, there can only be 8 to 10 people at a time, but we wanted to be able to have a plethora after having conversations with everybody. These are the topics that really rose to the top. We had hundreds of notes, and then we went through and started putting them all up on a wall, and you could see how many people wanted to talk about the exact same challenges and opportunities. And then in addition, we've added something called Knowledge Bridges, and those are a little bit like supersized roundtables. Think of about 20 people at the table, and we make sure that we have people guiding the conversation. So we always want to have a thought leader that comes from either the analyst or consultant space, but sitting alongside end users who are also, guiding and facilitating these conversations with a larger audience. So, and I saw HETMA go by. I don't want to forget them. So HETMA, the Higher Education Technology Managers Association,
Oh,
they
wow. I was
are
wondering what that was.
co-locating. That's a mouthful, right? But they're co-locating with us for their, so they have several topics and networking events. But it has just been keep Austin weird. We want to lean into having fun in Austin. But I think the lineup is great. I happen to know all the speakers, and they'll be going up on the website this week. And we kind of backed into it differently. We built the content based on the interviews focus groups, the hundreds of conversations we've had with the professionals, instead of doing a call for papers and taking what's traditionally out there. And instead, we've gone out to the community that we've built and said, which of these topics align? Where do you feel like you could best lend your expertise? And so that's how the program has been pulled together.
Well, it's so refreshing to see a new approach and also exciting to get back in person. I've been back to a couple in-person events already, and people are so enthusiastic and engaged and interested to chat and meet and network and connect. The pandemic was, yeah, that was quite a experience for us to get through. So it's wonderful to be back in person. So what are you up to the next few weeks, a couple of months? Obviously heads down, actually working on bringing this all together. Any call to action for the folks who might be watching or wanting to even sponsor or get involved in other ways?
Yeah, so we just opened registration. So it's no
Oh,
longer
okay.
come to the website, take a look around, and add yourself to a mailing list. You're now at the point where you can get registered for the event, and also what we are doing is if there are people in an active procurement process as well, interested in these technologies and for UC&C, CX, or contact center, we do have an application program where you can be invited to get hosted to the event. And so that's on the website under, I want to say attend. And then if you're a sponsor, you can come in, the sponsor page gives you all the information that you could need. But I am also always here. You can come to me directly, and my email is angela.harar, Harar, @clarionevents.com. And I'm, what am I up to? I feel like I've got my hands in a little bit of everything, right? We have, we have sponsors booked. We're still in active conversations with a lot of really great leading vendors out there. And we are actively talking to attendees and speakers on a regular basis and getting them brought in through registration and, identifying if we can put them into the match program. What else is coming? Operation, like all the fun stuff, all that behind the scenes things that happen with event production so when people walk in, it seems seamless.
Magical. It's automagical. Yes. It all just happens,
Yes,
but it really doesn't. Congratulations on the mission and on bringing this together. Can't wait for September. And we'll be in touch and hopefully have one or two sponsors on my show as well. Well, thanks so much, Angela. Good to see you. We just saw you at Enterprise Connect.
Yep.
And look forward to updates as
all
well.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Evan. This has been such a pleasure, and I'm just always so happy to have your support and that you'll be there. We're looking forward to it.
Likewise. All right, everyone. Thanks. Check out UCX USA, and I'll see you there. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.